Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to have you here with us for the London Film Festival. If you could kick off with a brief introduction to this incredible adaptation of Lady Chatterley's Lover. Of course, many people will be either familiar with the book or might have seen an adaptation before. So what was your journey to bringing this to screen?
So I read this adaptation. It was April 2020. It was full pandemic. And obviously reading it at this time, I felt urgency to talk about and explore human connection and on that level. And also I knew the novel. I knew that D.H. Lawrence was banned because he expressed, he was the first writer to express female sexual pleasure and to glorify it. And I think the idea of eroticism and sexuality and sensuality in this book was also part of like this need to talk about the touch, the senses, what would be never replaceable, and feeling so isolated, feeling so deprived from human connection, from life. I just felt that this film was a celebration to life, and that needed to be said and explored. Again and again, and maybe like this will be like another multiple adaptation in the future. But at this moment, specific moment, I thought it was exactly the right story to say. Yeah.
Because I think there's something about this novel which clearly is timeless, but and still
timely and timeless.
Yeah,
that's what's it's timely and timeless. And you think I think there's always at that moment this novel. Had this meaning. Maybe it will have other meanings in the future. But definitely the need of connection and the need to glorify the body of the woman in control of her own body, owning it, I think that's also very timely.
And of course, your cast are going to be so crucial. Maybe you can talk a bit about particularly Emma and Jack. I mean, Emma, an incredible performance in The Crown, which I think everyone was very taken with as Diana. And here she really kind of brings out sort of that beauty, but that vulnerability and that desire to be free. And of course, Jack, I know originally even from Derby, and has that kind of good combination of being very raw but also sensitive. So how did you cast them and work with them to kind of bring out this very particular tone?
Meeting Emma was wonderful because I really loved their freshness, their unique singular energy that I could see in The Crown, and our first conversation was really much about the same need to express freedom, ecstatic freedom, and the scene like dancing naked under the rain was for them an iconic. And they said, "Oh, this might be the most crazy thing I will ever do in my life," and I want to do it. And it was like, "This is welcome on board." It was wonderful to have someone who was such a partner and had the same feeling and need to tell the story for and to modernize it and to make it accessible and relatable. And Jack has this balance between raw and refined. It's very sensitive, it's very tender, and we didn't want to portray Olivia Mellors through a cliche of the man in the wood that feels, kind of antisocial, and it's kind of the trap for this character, and he's much more refined and much more elegant, and also very, very tender and sensitive, and this is Jack has all those qualities. So, and actually the real luck that we had is like Emma and Jack didn't know each other, and when they met, they felt this immediate friendship and trust, and same sense of humor from the one, and that was wonderful because obviously if you don't have a chemistry, if you have two actors that don't get along, it's just you don't have a film. So, yeah.
And what do you hope people take away? Because obviously it's bringing the novel to a new generation. Definitely emphasising kind of it from the female perspective, but also celebrating different kinds of love and the legitimacy of female desire and female pleasure.
Absolutely, legitimacy of female pleasure, which is very important to remind over and over again as something that's beautiful and not shameful.
And also the connection to nature, I think you really emphasise, and how that kind of the contrast between how confined she is inside the house in the societal form, and then out, it's much more earthy and she's connected to nature and she's liberated.
Yes, it's liberating, and also like it's a real character. and I like exploring like two, binary places. Like you have the inside, the outside, the prison and the nature, and we really made sure that nature was emphasized visually, but also in the soundtrack. And so we were very specific about a soundtrack blending sounds that was not traditional from an English forest, but would just give the sensation of warmth, of steam, of centrality. So we had like those weird insect noises and the tropical forest and the all blended to some birds. It would just very to give a sensorial experience.
Well, I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing that with us, and I can't wait for everyone to see
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you.